I can't go there. You hit the note. You have failed me for the last time, General.
Captain Yet.
Captain, ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe J Movies Awesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
This is our Let's Talk session where we talk with
about
Joe.
Anything about everything.
And we put in the title Full Moon because per request of Scott Walker. But we can talk about anything you guys want. So here we go. I didn't notice the full moon yesterday or the day before, Walker.
Yeah. I had no clue. And today it's raining here. It's cloudy, so we don't know where the moon is.
The full moon is beautiful. I think full moon brings up the animal in us because it's nighttime and it's hunting season, yet it's just bright enough for us to, see our sins, so to speak.
Beware the moon.
More than one more final warning, boys. Beware the moon. Oh, scary. I wonder if I guess the werewolf and full moon connection happened because people saw, we live in a age where it's always bright. But I think in older times, a full moon was a blessing for these people because they can see better.
I was in the army, and when we were doing like night patrol, when there's like a clear day with the full moon, you really don't need any flashlight. It's so much brighter than we expect because we don't really feel how bright it is because, like you said, we have all these artificial lights at night in the city. But when you go out to the countryside where there's no external artificial light in complete darkness, that full moon is like a lamp. Yeah,
so I think that is why werewolf turning, like we got to saw those wolves in the old time. That's why that myth possibly happened. Remember I told you about Red, how he's on the night of the full moon, he gets more aggressive, more excited, and he's more territorial. I'm just looking at the moon. Can you just imagine being at the beach or at the airport with this a full moon night? Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful, Walker. I think everything looks just a little bit more special with the full moon. And I mean, dogs being more alert, it makes sense because it's night, so they are more alert in general, but they get to see things more. Yeah. I'm on a boat and it's a full moon and I'm seeing killer whales swimming. Hell yeah, of course that'll be fascinating, Walker. Hey, that makes me wonder if like sea mammals especially behave differently too when there's a full moon. We never get to see that, right?
I think there's still research going on, but there's, according to what I've learned, these animals do understand like the cycles of the moon, and they behave differently. And it's always fascinating. Now we were born into a world where we have science that explains why the moon waxes and wanes and why the tides change and everything. But imagine you're born like a couple hundred years ago. You have no idea why that bright thing keep changing shape. And sometimes it becomes red.
No, but Wonder, they knew, except they were completely wrong. They had this. Oh, that's a god. Just turn on his left eye. So they had an explanation that was not real. You know what I just found? Well, I found your first JoJo movie live stream ever. Really? Oh, thank you, ZZ. That's very nice of you to search. Go back there. Look up whale book from 1993. Is called The Whale Song.
Whale Song. Okay. It happened on March.
Okay.
Whale book, 1993. Is this it? Whale in the Sky?
Whale in the Sky.
Hold on. The Whale Song.
Whales?
Oh, read by Helena Bonham Carter?
Diane Sheldon and
Oh, okay. It's got a lot of illustrations. Okay.
I didn't look for it; just appeared on suggestion. Now I know when Jojin birthday is. Oh, our birthday is March.
We never thought about that.
Yeah, never. It never occurred to us.
We should make this like anniversary to celebrate.
Last night I took Red for a late night while I was being stalked by a taxi. It was so scary. A taxi driver was following you around?
That's weird.
That's really not good, not cool, Walker. Like,
in Korea in the old days, you know, like grandmothers would warn children not to like go near these like vans or taxis and stuff because they could kidnap you.
Yeah.
And sell you.
I mean, those kind of crimes were common, more common back then.
Like human trafficking.
Yeah. Like they would just kidnap kids.
But now we have so many security cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
It's becoming virtually impossible to pull something like that off.
Yeah. Lol, and I hear people saying that line 1 is dangerous. Yeah, because you came at a time when our subway system is much more prettier than when me and Won-Jin was growing up.
Yeah.
Because each line were made at different times. So some subway lines were just more superior than others.
And some are like, I don't know how to explain. What's the proper word? I was thinking of the word ghetto, but there's gotta be a better word for this.
Like New York City. I told Trish about me being stalked by the taxi driver. She said, just come straight home. He was too scared to come near me because Rita will. Oh, man, but that's kind of weird, Walker. Like, be careful, okay? Hey, we grew up with don't talk to strangers, don't get in car with strangers, and don't accept anything from strangers. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, in Korea today, don't trust nobody. That's the mantra. Korean on Korean violence is bad.
Looking at the full moon right now, boys, it's going behind the clouds. It is so creepy. I don't know. I always found like when it's like eclipsed by these clouds, I thought it was beautiful.
Oh, hey, that is. I think that's a theme of a lot of like Japanese paintings. It's beautiful. There's something, I not just the moon, but there's something just that catches our like attention about a beautiful natural scene.
It always fascinates me because that's just like a piece of rock floating in space and it's reflecting light from the sun. That's why it looks shiny in our eyes and it's so far away.
Yeah.
It kind of like gives you that existential crisis, like where are we going? Why are we here? What is Earth? What is space? We're this like ball floating in space right now, going somewhere.
Really? That makes you think all of that?
Yeah. Don't you think about those things?
Not anymore. It's just bright. I'm tired. But I totally get it, but not anymore. The last time I thought that way, I think I was like 19 or something. This is how I look at the moon, literally. Okay. It's none of my business.
I don't know. I'm always kind of mesmerized by it whenever it like rises.
No, but Walker, you're right. When I'm near a beach, I'm always looking at the sky, though. I don't know why. Jin, when you went to the airport, what was it like out there on the night of the full moon for you?
The airport?
All the Russians started abroad because they cheated with drugs and steroids. Russian and drugs. That's a reputation that's carried on forever, right?
Even in like Rocky 3. I don't know. What do you mean the airport? Do you mean the army?
Oh, Won-Jin. The moon being reflected on the sea surface, that one catches my attention.
Oh yeah, that's also beautiful.
Yeah. Not just like in the city because
the light kind of like streams all the way towards you.
Yeah. And then the beautiful thing is when that happens and I'm on the beach, the water goes boop. I'm like, what the fuck was that? I'm not being like, that's magical. I'm like, I'm not going in there. Whatever you are, even if it's a small fish, I'm like the Mongols, not crossing this sea. Whatever that is.
I mean, if you go out to the airport, would you do? What's the plane of the night of the full moon? Oh, okay. I don't know. I never had the chance to go to the airport on a night with the full moon and see like airplanes take off. But I think if I do get a chance to do that, I would like it because I'm also fascinated by airplanes and I love to see them like take off and land.
Hey, now that you mentioned that, I do love watching the clouds on the airplane because one of the great things about airplane, I know I kind of said I just want to sleep last time, but it actually, since you are stuck there, it gives you time to appreciate those things more. Because when I'm in the city, I'm thinking I'm going to destination B. I'm not thinking about the moon. Really, people are walking by. But on an airplane or a beach, you just have more time to think about it. And sometimes, Won-Jin, I agree with you. When I'm on a plane, and a plane, you know how a plane like cut through the cloud?
Yeah.
Sometimes that amazes me. I'm like, wow, we are like gods. We're like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. And I inevitably think about Air Force One and all the disaster movies ever. Hell no.
I like to look down and see the city down below the plane. Over here in Australia, there's an Aboriginal engine saying on sometimes the 9th or the full moon, if you're near the beach, if you listen very carefully, you can hear the songs of the whales. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, is that from like the Austro native mythology?
Oh, ZZ, and cities look like motherboards. That's true. It kind of looks like an electrical circuit, especially if you're taking off from like a big city.
Then whoever designed Seoul needs to get fired. Because I have to admit, like Seoul is not the best designed city. Like but there's a certain beauty to that. Because like
I don't know. I think it's ugly.
You think so? Cobra Kai season 6 boys was so cool, son. The Korean team were in Cobra Kai dojo and they tried to cheat to win, but one girl killed. Sorry, the character name is Kwon. Wait, people die in Cobra Kai like that? Is that true, Won-Jin?
I don't know. I haven't gone to season 6 yet. I'm still on season 1. And I think since we talked about cities, I think the best night view from an airplane I saw was from New York City.
Oh, really?
And Chicago. They're so massive. And you can see that, like, how extensive that network of like the street lights is, and it's just insane how big it is.
You mean the city, right?
Yeah. And because at night you can see the size of the city based on the lights.
What was the city that most impressed you that way, Won-Jin? Like, what was the city? Like,
I think it was New York.
Is it?
New York.
Okay.
And I also was surprised by like Copenhagen and also Amsterdam because I saw so much green space everywhere. I'm like, wow. Because I had taken off from Turkey and everything was just like sand and dust and it was all brown. And there was so much green space everywhere. I'm like, wow, this place is beautiful.
I got that feeling from like watching Rome. Because like it brings out that Gothic thing. Because there are so many old buildings still left there. Because one of the things about Seoul is we don't have much old buildings.
Or even when we do, they're basically buried around like these modern buildings.
Yeah. Amsterdam looks super pretty from above, by the way. Really? He died by having a knife in the final brawl. You're allowed to bring a knife to a dojo fight, Walker? That's crazy. It has so much green space. And everything is rounded like the neighborhoods are circular. So, sorry, I meant according to Aboriginal legend. Over here in Australia, if you go to the beach at night and when it's whale season, you can... But can you actually hear the sounds, though, Walker? It's you two how to choose between these two monsters. What would you rather be, a vampire or a werewolf? I would rather be a werewolf. I'll be a vampire, of course.
I would be a werewolf.
Really?
Yeah. I think it'll be cool.
I'm choosing
because I can transform.
I'm choosing vampire because I'm immortal and I look like a human being, so I can disguise myself. But werewolf, you can't control yourself. Don't you think, like, today... Animal control will like catch you right away.
I don't know, but if I ever am a vampire, I'll be like the first vampire who's terrified of blood because I don't like blood.
Really?
I would have trouble surviving. I would be like the vegan of vampires.
But what if you have to drink it or you'll die?
Then I will have to like hate to drink it.
Blindfold.
Yeah, I would hate it.
Like mix it up with a beet juice, make it purple, and then pretend it's like Gatorade. Oh my god! I would choose vampire because vampires most stories are immortal, right? So unless I meet a Val Helsing, like wouldn't it be fascinating to know like centuries of history?
I also think about those things, and I think maybe in the near future it would become possible, but not by being a vampire, but by like uploading your consciousness to a machine, and then you can have eternity, just like we see in like science fiction movies and animation stuff.
That's a philosophical question, though. Like, is that still me, though?
Because then we need to understand. I mean, we need to ask that question to ourselves. Like, what is me?
Mm-hmm.
Am I the soft tissue?
Right.
Or am I the consciousness? Then what is consciousness and all
and
these
if I can be copied, I'm not even unique anymore.
And, like, when I was younger, I didn't really think about living forever. But now, like you said, I'm curious how far the civilization will go. Because so many things have happened in the past century. So what's waiting in the next century and centuries? I just want to observe. That's what I want to do.
I agree with that fascinating thought. Remember this, boys. The werewolf instinctively seeks to kill the thing it loves the most. Just letting you know, guys. Hear that, Won-Jin?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. It's a good thing you don't love anything, Won-Jin.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. If you two go for a night walk when it's a full moon, you heard a howl in the distance, how would you stay still or would you just run?
Huh? Oh, heard a howl. I think I would just continue walking home.
Yeah.
Because it could be a dog.
Yeah. Dogs can howl too. I mean, if it's very close, I might be concerned.
Korean modern architecture is more towards practical than aesthetic. Yeah, that's true. Because I think it's because we have such short history of, I mean, very compressed modernization. That's
not just that, but Korea.
We also had the war.
No, because our land, we don't have a plane, so it's really hard for us to design large buildings, and so I think there's a lot of trouble with that. But if we can like knock down mountains and stuff, and if we're willing, I bet we can.
And I think modern architecture is more practical in many people's view. It's because we were mostly like resource constrained during like the 70s and 60s. So I think we just built whatever was like the most efficient. So when you look at these old apartment buildings in South Korea, you're going to see a lot of similarities with what you see in like the communist blocks. So they're very similar.
My dad is getting me the 25th anniversary Scream costume for my birthday and Scream / Wow. Hey, good for your father supporting your passion like that, Walker. Good for him and good for you too. I wouldn't react much to a howl, but I understand, Walker. He's from Australia. You find snakes in your shoes, and who knows what's outside your house. Oh, yeah. In Korea, we kill all the animals, so the only thing around is pigeons and cats, which we don't care about. They're just like our companions at this point. Yesterday, I saw a Garfield-like cat with one blind eye.
Oh, man. That's badass.
It was
That's like the Nick Fury of the cat world.
Yeah, it was adorable and sad at the same time. And you know what? It was so funny. It was right here. Like, it was not scared of human beings at all. It was at this, like, the night market. So it's coming there to eat all the trash and all the food. I bet she gets a lot. And I know it was a she because it was so close and it did not have the male organ. So that was funny.
Remember when I told you before I was being stalked by a taxi driver? I know why he didn't get up his car to come up to me, because I had Red with me. That's right. What do you think of American Werewolf in London when you first saw it? Did you guys find it funny? Did you find it scary? No, I haven't seen that. From memory, boys, what's the scariest thing you've ever experienced on the night of the full moon? I don't know.
Other people. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
other people.
Not from
the scariest thing.
Not from any wildlife or the full moon, but other people. Drunk people.
Jin, you couldn't say it better. I also wanted to say Korean architecture looks like a communist brutalist architecture and some hints of Art Nouveau. Yeah. It's got to do with our modern history. We just did not have like the luxury to afford those like aesthetically beautiful buildings.
No, and it was really more about making places people can live as fast as possible. And there was just a lot of war wreckage and stuff like that. And one of the reasons why Korean building is also shit is because we don't have much natural disaster. So like in our pre-planning stage, like a lot of that don't come. Joe, what was your dog like on the night of full moon? Was he more aggressive or was he more territorial? I wouldn't say aggressive or territorial, but Saudi was a little bit more like more energetic. Like there's something about him, like he's a little bit more like jumpy, but I wouldn't call it aggressive or territorial because my dog was not as big as Red, Walker. To every sport, why do you guys think the Russian always cheat to win? I'm not trying to offend the Russians there. But that has a lot to do with them being like communist countries.
Yeah, and during the Cold War, there were many suspicions that they were using like these illegal, seemingly substances to enhance performance of their athletes, and it was reflected in many of like TV shows and movies of the time.
Yeah.
And I think it may be true because they probably worked on substances that were like undetectable with like the technology they had at the time.
No, but I want to add to that. No, like they've been developing those since World Wars. Like they just happened to apply it to the sports program later, because back then, like, remember in the 20th century, the big theme is nationalism, and these sporting events was one way to give the pride to the people.
It's about national pride.
And this is before like smartphones or mass media. I mean, yes, mass media, but televisions all around. So the sport events were really important, and it was important for them to win.
Yeah.
So to win, you will do anything, including using possibly banned substance. And I think the assumption was they're probably cheating too, because this was a competition.
That's right.
Remember, Soviet Union and America had a huge competition going. Hey guys, we're gonna take a couple of questions, because I just noticed that we've been talking for like an hour and 30 minutes, hour and 45 minutes, in fact. So imagine.
Hold on. Sorry. Imagine your name, your dog. Sorry. And when you lost him at the park, you were walking around yelling "Sorry, sorry, sorry, sorry." Oh, it's not sorry. It's sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's
that means frost.
Yeah.
In Korean. Sorry.
It's not sorry. It's sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. So no one will be confused, ZZ.
But in Cobra Kai, these Russians were kids who were in the World Karate tournaments, and they were using drugs and steroids to keep them winning, but they were just kids. I mean, yeah, even in the Olympics, there were a lot of like teenage athletes, and I'm pretty sure they did that stuff.
No, but that's a whole nother topic too, Walker. Cause it's not just about steroids. You're talking about, because it's not just the Russians that did that. Remember, like, Won-Jin, I think like the American gymnastic team, they were all like, they start off as kids. So, when is it discipline and when is it child abuse? That's the question that really, in every sport, like, they all start young. So this is a very, I guess, sensitive topic these days. Because what was that scandal, Won-Jin, with the American gymnastic team or something? There was this doctor.
The team doctor?
Yeah, yeah.
Larry Nassar, what was his name?
Yeah.
It was Larry. Yeah, he got shanked in prison. I was so happy.
Yeah, I mean, he's a target at this point. Yeah, I mean, kids, so... But anyway, guys, I think we'll just take one more question and call it a night. And thanks for letting us know it's the full moon, Walker.
Yeah,
I'm going to really appreciate it.
I had no clue.
Sorry. Zenzi, like, you live in Korea. When's the last time you heard Koreans say sorry in English? 미안합니다, right?
If I ever get a dog in Korea, I will call it fucker, but in French, so nobody knows the real meaning.
What's fucker in French? No, tell us, Zenzi. I'm asking you. How do you say, teach us the bad word? Oh, our time is up, I think. No sharing bad information. Hey guys, thank you for joining in. Scott Walker, thank you again. I want to give a big shout out to Ekemu, Nico Mercado, Music. Thanks for joining the chat today, man.
Wei Chan Hong,
Russian ID, Zedzi,
for my wife,
Scott Walker, and Jasmine, Kayla Marie, Zach Miller Does Movie, and our 47th subscriber, which I saw the name but I can't remember for the god of me.
The trench coat.
The trench coat. We'll see you next week on Saturday. This has been Joji Movie So Awesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
We'll see you guys later.
It was the soulless trench coat.
Oh, the soulless trench coat. Big shout out to you. Yeah, we'll do a Christmas around December, Scott Walker. Let's do a Let's Talk session. Jinjo. You can look it up. We will, ZZ. Guys, anyway, peace out.
All right,
have a great evening. Bye-bye. Penguin, fuck you. Death to all. Death to you. Falcon on a cat. You kill that motherfucker. Hang him on a fucking bridge. Feed him to Arkham. Feed that motherfucker to Arkham.